Today we're going to be doing a beginner animation in Procreate Dreams of a bee and some flowers. So let's get started. Okay, first off, to give you a view of what I've made so far, I've got the background, the moon or the sun, whatever you might think, probably the sun, huh? Some of the flowers are not going to move, which is this one, that one. So they're all on the same layer, and also the leaves are not moving. So all of those things I've put on one layer, and that's them right here on layer 2. All right. Everything else that's going to be moving is on its own separate layer. So each petal of the flower, the little stamens right there. So all of these leaves here are all on their own layer. Also, these little pollen yellow balls are on their own layer, and of course the bee is on its own layer. Okay, so next let's go over to Procreate Dreams. So we're going to start a new animation by clicking on the little plus in the right corner, and here you can switch whatever thing that you want, whatever size, whatever dimension you want. You can click on the little red X there and change everything up. But we're going to keep it on widescreen right here and empty. First thing I'm going to do is go into, tap on the title here, and go into properties. And I'm going to change my frames per second to 12, and we're going to change the duration. I think I'm going to do a 15-second duration, and then for the 1 minute here, just hit the backspace and that will delete that. And that is it. Okay, so here we are. Now we need to bring in our Procreate assets over into Dreams. So the way I like to do it is go to my file here and hold it down until I can move it around. Don't pick up your finger. Go into Dreams and drop it in there. You can also go into Dreams and import things. That's another way to do it. But for me, this is just easier. And to get this perfect, I'm just going to resize it just a little bit bigger. That way it'll fit in and won't be difficult to try to match it just perfectly. So there we are. Okay, the next thing we need to do, so here we are on the timeline, and I'm going to stretch that out for the length of it here. And right now we have a flat file. It's just a picture right now. So what you need to do is you need to long press on your track, and you need to hit convert layers to tracks. So you now can see it's made a group, and if you click on the little arrow right there, it'll open it up. And then you can see all of the layers that we had over in Procreate. Alright, so let's get started. I think I'm going to animate my bee first. So he is right here on the top level. And we're going to start him. First thing I want to do is do a move and scale. And he's going to get a lot smaller to start off with. Alright, I think that's probably a good size. And I'm going to start him off the screen over there. Alright. And then he is going to fly. He's going to land on this yellow flower first. Then he's going to land on the orange flower. And then he's going to come over to this big maroon flower, and then he's going to go off the screen. So that's the animation we want to do. And I think I'm going to do this by doing performance mode. And what performance mode is basically it records your movement of your finger. And that is it. So if you want to set it and ready to go, click on the little circle right there. You can see in the top right corner or in the left corner here, it says ready. And as soon as I move my little asset right there, the bee, it's going to start recording. So I'm going to have it come in the screen. He's going to go to this flower. And then he's going to come up and he's going to land on that flower. And then he's going to go over to this flower. And then he's going to move off the screen. And that's it. Okay, if you want to take a look at that, we can go back and hit play. And here's our little bee to that flower, to that flower, to that one, and then off the screen. Alright, and that's what we wanted. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is our bee starts off in the back, and then he comes forward. So his size is going to have to be changed as he moves forward. So we're going to get him small right there until he gets to that flower. So I'm just moving my fingers on the timeline here. I'm going to my bee here, and then from here he's going to start to get bigger. So I'm going to hit a move and a move and scale keyframe. Okay, and then from there he's going to be the same size, but right here he's going to start getting bigger. So from here to this flower, I'm going to make him get bigger. So I'm going to hit it, and we're going to just drag him up a bit and maybe move him up a bit, make him a little bit bigger. Okay, let's see if that worked. Yep, worked good. Okay. One thing I don't like though is he goes too low on the flower. So I think raise him up a bit, and then maybe that keyframe right there too, raise it up. There we go. Or maybe that keyframe too, raise him up there. Maybe this one too, raise him up. Okay, maybe a little bit on that one, and then he's going to start to go back up. Okay, so we've got that all set, and now the same thing from this flower, from about right there until about right there, you're going to get bigger, even bigger. Alright, let's see what that looks like. Yep, looks good. Let me make sure you don't get too, yeah, he gets too low on that one too. So what I'm doing is I'm just going to these keyframes that are already here, and I'm just repositioning them. It'll turn light. Like if you're off of it, see how it's like a darker color, and then when you get right on that keyframe, it'll turn white. So now we're able to adjust that. Move him up, move him up. Maybe that one. And I think he's, no, that one too, huh? And now it's going to start to go up. Okay, we're going to take a look at this whole thing right now and see if it's like we like it. So lands on that flower, starts to get bigger. Lands on that flower, starts to get bigger. Lands on that flower, and then he's going to go off the screen. Yep, that's exactly what we wanted. But I see his little tail there, so we need to move him a little bit more. So there's that last keyframe right there. Let's move him off. There we go. Now he's totally off. Okay, so that's the first part. The bee is done. So now what we're going to do is we're going to make these flowers that he lands on move as he lands on them. Okay, so he's going to land on that yellow one in the background first, and I think it's this one right here. Yeah. So okay, I'm going to go back to where he lands on that. Okay, and we're going to hit a move and scale, and not move it at all, and then we're going to move it just a little bit over. And I'm going to hit the 3 dots there, and I'm going to move our anchor point down to the bottom here. And hit done, and then we're going to just rotate it a bit, and then when he starts to go up, we're going to make it go back into its original position. Just like that. So you might not be able to see much of it moving because the bee's kind of obscuring most of it, but that's okay. And then what we can do is we can just look at these positions and just do the same thing for the other ones, just keeping those same positions. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to hit the 3, actually hit a move and scale, and then we're going to hit those 3 little dots and move the anchor point down here to the bottom of the petal. And then we're going to bring it over to this next keyframe, and then we're going to, actually we're done there. We're going to rotate him a little bit, and then we're going to make it go back to its original position as the bee goes off. Here we go. So just have it move a little bit as the bee's on it. That's good enough. All right, and then we're going to do this other petal over here. Same way. So right here, we're going to move and scale and hit the 3 dots, move our anchor point down here to the bottom, move it over a little bit, here we're gonna make them go down a bit, and then over here it's gonna pop back into its original position. Yep, that's good enough. And then we got one more petal here on the far right. We're gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna hit move and scale. Set our anchor point down here at the bottom of the leaf. Hit done. And then we're gonna move him over a bit to about right there, and then we're gonna have it rotate down, and then rotate back into its original position. Just about like that. Yep, that's good enough. So that's all we're gonna do for that flower. So the next we need to do is the orange flower. So that's where he's going to land next. So we're going to go over to where he lands, about right there. So he's probably going to start pushing the petals down right now. So I'm going to hit a move and scale. We're going to hit the 3 dots and move the anchor point down here to the bottom. Hit done. Alright, and then we're going to move it over a little bit, and we're going to have that petal move down a little bit, and then over here when he starts to go back up, we're going to have it put it right there, and then we're going to make it move back to its original position right here, just like that. That didn't work. Why? Because there's only there could be 3 keyframes. Alright, so let me see. So if you're enjoying the content, I have a small favor to ask that makes a huge difference. Subscribing to my channel is like giving a virtual high five, and it means the world to me. When you hit that subscribe button, you're not just supporting the channel, you're joining an incredible community of awesome people who love art just as much as you do. Imagine being part of something bigger, where every view, like, and comment helps us grow and reach more awesome folks just like you. Plus, subscribing is super easy. It's just one click, but that one click has a ripple effect, helping me create more content, bringing new ideas to life, and spreading positivity all around. And hey, in the spirit of kindness, how about this? Subscribe and then go out and do something nice for someone today. Hold the door open for a stranger, leave a kind note for a coworker, or simply smile at someone who looks like they need it. Let's make the world a bit brighter together. So what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button and let's make amazing things happen. Thank you for your support. You're the reason this channel exists. So from there, it's going to go down and then go back up. There we go. That's good enough. Okay, then we're going to do the same thing, the next leaf. So we're going to hit move and scale. 3 dots, move the anchor point down here to the bottom. We're going to have it go down. About like that. We're going to set another one, and then right here, have them go back up. Yep, that's good enough. Alright, same thing here. So basically that is what we're going to do. So set a keyframe. We're going to, actually we can move that anchor point down right now and hit done. And we're going to come over a little bit, and that's where it's going to move down. Okay, and then in the down position we're going to keep it right there, and then as he goes up we're going to make it go back up. So you should have a total of 4 keyframes. So set in the original position, move down to the left, set in that same down to the left, and then move back up to the original position. Alright, and then I think, is that all of them? I thought there was one more. Yep, there is. There's 2 down here that were. Alright, so we're going to move and scale. We're going to make it go down. Let's get that anchor point down here to the corner. Hit done. Nope, that's rescaled it. There we go. And then we're going to set it back in its original position, and then we're going to make it go back to where it was before. Yep, just like that. And then one more. So same thing. I'm just going to see those same positions. Move and scale. Bring it over here. And we're going to make it edit our anchor point first. Hit done. Come on. Not cooperating right now. There we go. Same position and then back to its original. Nope, it's moving in scale and we don't want it to do that. There we go. Boom. Yep. Okay, that's all the movement I want. All right, let's do this last flower. So that's going to be the big one. And those are the deep red ones, so those are right here. So we're going to set an original keyframe in its original position. And then as he lands, we're going to make it move in scale, and we're going to take the anchor point down. Okay, and hit done when you do that. And then we're going to rotate it over. And then we're going to set it one more time for that same down position, and then we're going to set it for the back to the original position. Actually, we probably could have set that a little bit longer, so I'm going to move that down here, and we're going to move this one over here. I think that's good. You can see it moving. All right, now this one. So we're going to set the original position, move and scale, and not do anything with it. We're going to bring it over. As he comes down, we're going to make this rotate. Put the anchor point down here. Hit done. Hit a corner till you get that little curved thing right there, and put your finger close to it, and it'll rotate it. And then we're going to, as he starts to go up right there, we're going to set up frame that's in its down position. And we're going to come over just a little bit more, and then we're going to put it back in its original position. There we go. All right, and the same thing with this one. So let's set one as our base point, and then we can set our anchor point down here. All right, and then as he lands, it's going to move that way a bit. He's still sitting on it. So he starts to go up, so I'm going to set one there, and then right here we're going to make it go back to the original. Yep, perfect. All right, so we got all the flowers animating. So you can see that orange flower, as he lands on it, it moves. And then the red one moves. And the yellow one moves. All right, so that's exactly what we wanted. So now I got those little stamens that I want to animate too. So they're going to do the same thing as those leaves. So there's 3 of them here. Is that all? I think I got more than that actually. What's this? Okay, that's, yeah. Alright, so we're just going to basically do this, kind of follow the same as the leaves. So from here, make sure we're on that correct layer. Okay, I'm going to set one that's in its original position, come over a little bit to the right, and then we're going to move that anchor point down here to the bottom. Hit done. And now we're going to click on a corner until we get that little curve mark. Oops, didn't want to do that. Put that back in the position. Come on, guy, where are you? There we go. Okay, moved it over. And then I'm going to go where the bee is about ready to go back up. We're going to set one more, and then we're going to make it move back. About right there. Yep. Alright, and we're going to do the same thing with the other ones. So I'm not going to show you all of these, because once you get one done, you pretty much know how to do all the rest of them. The same thing with the leaves. Alright, so that is that. Now the last thing we're going to do is these little pollen balls. And that's those 3 little yellow tracks right here. Now the first thing we're going to do is move them back to that yellow flower. So I'm going to start them back there. Actually, all three of them. And put them all back there. Okay, and you're not going to be able to see them that well because it's going to be kind of far away. So we're just going to leave them right there, and then when the bee lands on him, when he gets back up, so what we're going to do is we're going to set an original move. And then as he gets back up, the little pollen ball is going to fly out right there. Just like that. We'll do the same thing over this one. So set the original position and then have it fly out on that side. And then the middle one here, move and scale, and then over to here, we're going to make him go down. Alright, so as the bee gets up, the little pollen balls fly out. And now what we want to do is they're not supposed to stay there, so we're gonna opacity keyframe those out of the way. So to make a new keyframe track, make sure your clacker is up on the track. If you're on the keyframe here, it's not going to work. So we need it to be up there on the original track. And now we're going to, where it comes out, about right there, we're going to set a filter, an opacity filter. We're going to leave it at 100%. And then we're going to come over just a little bit more, and then we're going to take it down to 0. So the ball is going to fade away. Okay, just like that. And we're going to do the same thing here. Filter opacity. And then down to 0. So that one, those two disappear, and now the last one. Filter opacity should be at 100. And then over here, fade it out to 0. So I'm going to come out and then they're going to disappear. Just like we want it. Okay? And now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these tracks, because once they disappear, they're not supposed to be shown anymore. So, actually I set a keyframe, so I'm going to, if you set a keyframe you don't need, just hold down on it and you can delete it. So I'm going to go up to the clacker again here, edit, and we're going to split that track. And the same thing up here. Edit, split, and up here too. Edit, split. Okay? Now we're going to move over to where the next bee's at. Alright? And then we're going to split it here. Same thing, all three of them. Edit, split, edit, split. Alright? And then that piece here in the middle, we're going to long press on it and delete it. Delete it. Delete it. Alright? Because if we didn't do that, you're going to see those little pollen balls start to travel by themselves over to this next flower, which we don't want that. So what we're going to do is now we're going to move and scale these things over to the bee. And they're at 0 opacity right now, so we can't see them, but we can see the little mark. Come on, guy. Move and scale. So you can see the little bounding box around them. Move and scale, and we'll put it over there. Alright, now we need to make these back to 100% opacity. So we're going to click on it, we're going to filter it, we're going to opacity it, and we're going to bring it back up to 100 on all three of them. Filter, opacity, bring it back up to 100. Filter, opacity, bring it back to 100. So now they're going to be showing again. Alright, next we want to do is move them. Alright, so as the bee gets up, which is about right there, I'm going to set a original move. So keep that same position. And then as he goes up, we're going to hit another move and we're going to have it fly out right there. Okay. And then we can probably go ahead and do the opacity again. So filter opacity, it's at 100 right there. And then right here, maybe a little bit Set one right there too, and then we'll do one more over here, and then we're going to take it out. So that way it'll stay on the screen for a little bit longer and then fade out. Okay. Same thing in this one. Set a move and scale. As the bee flies away, we're going to have it fly out over there. And then the same thing for the opacity when you do that too. So back up to the original track, filter, opacity. It's at 100, which that's what we want. We're going to keep it right there. And then we're going to keep it again right here. So just click on it, and then this last one, we're going to bring it down to 0 again. Going to fly out, and then it's going to disappear. And the last one too. We're going to move and scale. As the bee gets up, have that little pollen thing go down there. Okay, and then we're going to move and scale. Filter it. Opacity 100%. Another 100%. And then right here 0. Oop, there it goes. Okay, now we need to do the same thing on the last flower, and we should be done. I hope. Here we go. I think we're done. I hope this wasn't too confusing for you guys. Procreate Dreams just fight you the entire way that you're trying to do this animation, so that's what makes things look a little bit more difficult. But I think once you have how things move and how things opacity and stuff like that, it's not that difficult really. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the final animation with you guys at the end. Hope this has helped. If you got any questions, please leave them in the comments, and I'll be happy to answer any question that you might have. And with that, I will see you guys next week for another Procreate or Procreate Dreams tutorial. Thank you for watching, and take care.